First, DC copies Marvel Zombies with Deceased, and now Marvel is just copying Power Girl with Star. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am OzChris, both the embodiment of oppression and the oppressed. I know, very weird with my mixed-race heritage, so it's a bit of an internal conflict inside. But enough of that. We have a comic book to review. We have Star #1 spinning out of Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel run, who is the same writer for this miniseries. So written by Kelly Thompson. You have the art by Javier Pina with Felipe Andrade, coloring by Jesus Abertov. The cover that I got is by J. Scott Campbell and Ula Moss. I got J. Scott Campbell one. I'll get into that a little bit later. But Star #1. Who is Star? I think literally everyone was asking who was Star, because I didn't even know who this character was until I saw solicits for January. This is a character who, like I said, spinning off from Captain Marvel from her series. So not a lot of people read Captain Marvel, it seems, and so this is kind of an obscure villain. So I'll give you the basis of like who Star is based off this summary. Okay, Ripley Ryan was a successful reporter for Miss Magazine. The day she was assigned to interview superhero Captain Marvel, everything changed, which I think this happened in like issue #1 of Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel, because I do remember there was an interviewer who was then attacked by, I think, Nuclear Man, or Machismo, or whatever his name was. But traumatized by a months-long kidnapping at the hands of Nuclear Man, Ripley made a devil's bargain with a Kree scientist to gain superpowers. But that scheme failed after she nearly killed the entire population of New York City. Barely alive after Captain Marvel punched a hole in her chest, Ripley lost her powers and wound up in the Raft prison facility. But she quickly escaped up, discovering a new power, one that she barely understands. What's her power? She has one of the Infinity gems inside of her. I'm not calling them stones. They're gems, Infinity gems. She has the reality one. So, as you could probably tell, she's incredibly overpowered. Despite the fact she is still easily beaten by someone like Captain Marvel and then several other characters throughout this issue. But she is dealing with the trauma of having been almost killed by Captain Marvel, just hanging out, drinking in the pop-up bar with no name, a place that supervillains frequent. It's kind of their own place to drink, whatever. But she's confronted by Titania, in a very like, it's just like the most like used trope. Like whenever there's like a bar fight scene, you're in my spot. Make me move, bitch. And like, it's just like, it literally was just like, you're in my seat, small fry. Move. Or what? Or I can move you. Just like cliche bar fights. Like the lead up to a bar fight. So they get into a brief fight, and then Star is captured by Loki, who wants to take the reality gem out of her, given how powerful the gems are, even by themselves, but together, and given the whole, as it says here, what he learned a thing or two about the stones in Infinity Wars. Loki wants to get it out of someone who had become pretty much a supervillain. She tries to erase him from existence. That's not going to work. You're dealing with Loki, the man who perpetually cannot die. She tries to go seek help from one of Captain Marvel's friends, Jessica. She gets the wrong Jessica. She went to go see Spider-Woman, but instead she went to go see Jessica Jones, who was not as happy with what Ripley has done to Captain Marvel, given the whole getting into a fight with her. So, story, I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 5. This is below average. It really does heavily rely on the fact that you would have had to read Captain Marvel. Although, for me, that's partially my fault. I don't read Captain Marvel. I've read like 3 issues and just dropped it. But it really does heavily rely on having read that, at least to know who the character was and what happened to her. Even if they do give a brief summary, it seems like there's a bit more that's missing to it. And just, I don't know, the story of her dealing with these new powers, it's not particularly interesting. There's nothing. The thing is, there's nothing likable about the character. There are villains that can be interesting and likable. You love to hate them, or you hate that you love them. But with Ripley, there's nothing to her with this. She's not interesting at all. She's not likable. There's nothing to like about her. She thinks that because she has literally one of the Infinity Gems inside of her, she thinks she's top dog, despite the fact she gets constantly beaten in this issue by pretty much 3 different people, Titania, Loki, and Jessica Jones. So she's all bark but no bite, pretty much. But yeah, there's nothing in here that would warrant me continuing the series onto the second issue. The art and the coloring, I'm going to give a 3.5 out of 5. Above average, not bad, but not particularly good or great either. And the cover, I got the J. Scott Campbell one. I like his art. He's definitely a great artist. Even if his women do all look the same, you got to admit it still at least looks good. So cover, 4 out of 5. Mainly just because it's a J. Scott Campbell one. But so yeah, that was it for Star. I pretty much would not recommend it. Even if it is just a miniseries, I definitely would not recommend this book. It just has not a likable character, and you would have had to read Captain Marvel to understand this character in their entirety. And so yeah, pretty much that was it. And that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to follow me on social media, my Twitter and Instagram handles are in the outro. Leave your thoughts if you've read Star #1 as well. Did you like it? Did you equally did not like it as much as I did? Or was there anything I missed? Correct me on anything. I love it when people correct me. I'm kidding, but that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.